Hello, hello, everybody. This is Jeanne-Marie Paynel here for another Montessori Monday. Not Montessori Monday, Montessori Moment. All last year I did Montessori Mondays, and it's still repetition. It's still ingrained in my brain. Hello. It is 11 a.m. here in Curacao, where I have been for the past 3 months um, getting ready to head back to San Diego in a couple of weeks. But until then, I am here every day for you to answer your parenting questions around Montessori, positive discipline. That is where my field of expertise is. So for those of you who don't know me, I am Jeanne-Marie Paynel, and I am the founder and owner of Voila Montessori, that I created to really guide, empower, and support parents to understand and to bring Montessori into their homes. And I also use positive discipline because I feel that it is a beautiful complement to Montessori principles. So I blend all of these and I mentor parents worldwide. I have a membership, and this is where my passion is. So here I am, and I see that I have a lot of questions that have come in, and I also have one that came in a message. So I will try to address them all this morning. So let me see, what do we have here? So I have Pat here, Teacher Pat, Raising Geniuses. Teacher Pat helps parents in Thailand to bring Montessori into their home. So it is wonderful. And she asks here, I have parents asking me these questions and would love to hear from you. My child is 2 years and 3 months. I have challenging to get my child helping with chores at home or practical life activities. At the beginning, he was really good at helping, and lately he didn't want to do anything. No cleanup, no want to put things away. He negotiates a lot. Please help me. How can I guide? Okay, so this is a wonderful question. And almost 2.5 is, a time when they are pushing, testing their boundaries. I mean, we can understand them, right? There's not every day that we want to do our practical life chores of folding the laundry and putting the dishes away and all of that. So perfectly normal that somebody would want to not be interested. So at first it's very interesting because they've been watching us do all these skills and they want to learn how to do them and master them. So now we know that this child is able to do them, is capable, but is really working their will as to whether or not they're interested in wanting to and such. So I think that there, again, here, this is, and I say this often, is pick your battles. Don't let this become a power struggle. You know that they're capable. You know that they can. I would, very ask for help, saying, "Oh, I could really use your help, putting these away," or if it's kind of a family chore. If it is their toys and it's part of a daily routine, I think you need to be very firm about the non-negotiables, like, that we put toys away. In this house, we put our toys away before we can go out and play. Or, in this house, we do this and that before we can do something else. Or I see that you're having trouble putting your toys away, and I can offer some help, and we need to put these away before we can go outside or move on. So being really, firm and kind about the non-negotiables, the things that you feel are part of his routine. And then be flexible with the other ones of, don't take it personally. It's just, like you and I don't always want to do our practical life chores. I mean, I've been here for 3 months and haven't cooked for my family, just for myself. But at home, you cook for your family every day. Some days you kind of don't really feel like it. Um, do you negotiate with yourself of maybe, going out, getting takeout, having another family member help you? So there's always, I think, we need to be able to be flexible, to be able to encourage the effort that the child puts into it and not make it kind of a, um, how would you say, like something that they would be forced into, because then they will lose all of the joy. So hopefully that helps. It's really about picking your battles. What are the ones that are really important? And then the non-negotiables, be firm and kind of, this is how things happen. Be very firm about what you decide will happen if the task doesn't get done. So hopefully that helps. Thank you for that question. Great question, Teacher Pat. I have another one. My child is 15 months old. I'm trying to teach him how to speak and looking for the way to reduce steaming. Do you have suggestion? Oh, screaming. So this is 15-month old. They're, very much into that nonverbal stage. It can be very frustrating for a young child to have a lot of the receptive vocabulary, like they have acquired a lot of vocabulary if they have been talked to and been in environments with rich language, but they don't yet have that receptive, the expressive, excuse me. They have a lot of the receptive, they just haven't been able to express. So it can be a very frustrating time, which is oftentimes why they would, scream, because they have a voice, they've discovered their voice, it can be loud, so they scream. My way of really helping them is like, oh, that hurts my ears, it's loud, and just really talk really softly to them, and really help them also know that you understand that they have something very important to say, and that you don't always understand, and can you show me, can you take me to it, really help them try to get that expressive out. But remember that this is a difficult time for them. It's kind of like us going to a foreign country knowing exactly what we want and not being understood by anyone, and it can be very frustrating. So really kind of that same idea. So that is it. Okay, and I have Aline Tesseri Leah Faria. Not sure if I'm pronouncing it well, but this is a beautiful name. So Aline, this is a question for friends. Her son is 4.5. He hit a friend and lied, saying he didn't. She didn't see her son doing it, but she knew he was lying. How to address this situation? Oh, this lying is a tough one. And it's these boundaries of, but I would be careful not to label, for one, really not to label of you're lying, like accusing. I think it's more about really storytelling, like, oh, what was going on with the little girl, or, what did you happen to the party, and kind of let them, bring out the story and such. It's important to bring up the topic without it being accusatory. So maybe, telling a story of, oh, I wonder who hit that little girl, or, kind of talking about the situation with them, and then if they do have a different story, and really saying, it's important to always tell what really happened, because then that makes us feel good that we're saying what really happened. Sometimes we can get confused and we tell a different story, and it's always important to tell the right story. So I hope that helps. I mean, I would need to ponder a little bit more on that one, so I can really kind of look into that a little bit more, because I don't want to mislead anybody, but it's really, it's, lying is not intentional at this age at all. It's really just, kind of imagining another story and such. It's like it's not done consciously of, I'm going to lie to get away from it, or anything. It can get that way if we, if there is punishment and everything, because then children will not want to be caught and everything. So that's why, to me, it's more important to just talk about feelings, talk about the situation, just, in wonder, in curiosity, and trying as much as possible not to accuse, and to not take that feeling of having been lied to personally, because, like I say, it's really not done in an intentional, mean way at this age. So hopefully that helps. Well, hello, Pat. Good you're here. So I have another question too, and I answered some of these on Instagram Live yesterday, and I apologize. I meant to be here yesterday, and the internet provider, just the whole neighborhood was without internet, so that was a little challenging. So I actually went somewhere else to finish some of the work I needed to do, but I wasn't able to come on. So I will answer another question that I had yesterday that I think is very helpful. And this is of a parent wondering how she can get her 1-year-old to play more independently. She was kind of complaining that he's always glued to her and following her and everything. So my response to that is that enjoy it, because it won't last forever. They just love you. They just want to be close to you, and this, you are their sense of security and attachment and everything. So, try to get some time away if you are, kind of a introvert and are having a hard time with, always being touched and talked to and everything. But really, this is just their way of communicating that they enjoy being with you and love you. So the other thing is to involve them in what you're doing, so that you actually get, whatever the task that you need done, and just involve them with you. So give them the language of what you're doing, show them what you're doing, try to give them a small nugget of what you are doing. If you're folding laundry, for example, or sorting, just, give them 3 pairs of socks to play with, to match up, and such. And they're with you, they're next to you, you're getting your things done, they're with you, they're satisfied, they're actually doing good work, because it's purposeful activities. So, being mindful of that. And then also, if you do kind of show them an activity, remembering to slow our hands and omit words. Some of you know the acronym that I use, SHOW, which is slow hands, omit words, meaning that when we show a new activity to a child, we really need to slow down our movements so that they can really see what it is we're doing. And we have to stop talking, because we tend to over-explain and talk a lot. And when we talk, what do they look at? They look at our mouth and not at our hands. So if you want them to show them something, show them nicely. And then, once they are involved and focused, try to step away and, progressively maybe just have a book or a journal that you can do something while you're there. And otherwise, if you can step out and do your things, and if your child calls you at that time, just say, "Oh, I'm doing my work and you're doing your work," and kind of that's it, and not take it personally, and actually enjoy the fact that they want to be with you, because that does not last. There will be times where they want to have nothing to do with you, and then involve them with what you are doing. So I hope that helped. So let's see here. I need, my daughter is 3 and she started talking back, how to deal with the situation. So the back talk, so that's interesting. We had I think I had one on Instagram a couple of days ago about the back talk. I use really, again, firm and kind, and really saying, oh, I really do not appreciate being talked this way. Or in this house, we do not talk this way. Or even humor it of like, oh my goodness, or like, huh, that's a funny way of saying things. So that you don't put too much emphasis on it, so it doesn't become like a game of, because at this age they're pushing their boundaries, they're testing the waters, they don't know, they're brand new on this planet, right? They don't know the rules and regulations of everything and the proper etiquette. So being their guide and just letting them know this in this house that is not a way that we talk, and maybe even saying, oh my goodness, I have never heard anybody talk this way. I wonder how how come, how come, or have you heard me talk to daddy this way, or have I, things like that, so that they become aware of that language. And this unfortunately is just picked up by our social groups, and unfortunately, and those of you who know me, I'm a big proponent of, not much screen time, and a lot of the screen time is kind of influencing our children with these, little sassy attitudes and shows like that. So, I don't know where she picked it up, but she picked it up somewhere. She's testing the waters, and just nip it in the bud and say, oh, I really don't like being talked to that way. And if you need to tell me something, can you say it differently? And really being very firm and kind with it. But this is just testing the waters. Okay. So let me see. There's some more questions that came in. Um, da, da, da. I've tried Montessori with my son, but I've noticed he doesn't stay focused all the time. 2.5. Um, so Tanya, I think. I have tried Montessori activities with my son, but I've noticed he doesn't stay focused all the time. What is normal for 2.5 years? So 2.5 years, they're starting to be focused. Depending on the activity and their interest in it, it can be longer periods of time, but it could be 15, 20, 30 minutes. But again, it really, really depends. 2.5, is still young. That's kind of the beginning of when we welcome them into the primary classroom. And in the primary classroom, we have like 3 hours of uninterrupted work cycle for them to be able to have the ebb and flow of focus time. They're not always focused in those 3 hours. They're going to go to an activity, maybe do it for 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, depending on the activity, depending on their interest. They will put it away. They might walk around. They might observe. They might go get a snack. And then they might, get something else and such. So we have to be careful not to think that, when we talked about these 3-hour uninterrupted work cycles, that they're actually focused for 3 hours. They're not. It's really an ebb and flow. So, I would just be really mindful and observant of the activities that do kind of bring out that focus and concentration, and put more of those out and engage, and I wouldn't worry too much about it. I would also maybe take note of the time of day, because I have noticed, for example, in the morning it's calmer, they are more focused than in the afternoon when they're a little bit tired. So just be observant of those times of day. I mean, it's kind of like us. I know I get, a lot of my focused work done early morning. The afternoon, I'm not all that great for focused at night, neither. So it's, we're all different. So I hope, not to worry too much. 2.5 is still quite young, as long as they're, are engaged, and you are being very mindful never to interrupt their focus and their concentration. I think that is the most important thing that we can do, is really respect that concentration. All righty. So I think that is it for today. These have all been wonderful questions. Thank you so much, and thank you for being here. And again, I love to know where you are calling in from because our community is so international and so global. I just think it is wonderful. So let me know where you're calling in from, or drop a little emoji flag. I'm actually here live from Curacao, an island in the Caribbean off the coast of Venezuela, and loving it. And it's just been wonderful to be here and part of a project of bringing Montessori to Curacao. So we opened the first Montessori school here in January, and it's been wonderful. So, and I also wanted to remind everybody of this live training that I'm doing next week. So, I have been, um, uh, Maryland. I used to live in Maryland, Tanya. That's wonderful. Um, excuse me, I got distracted. A live training next week. So I will put the link below, and it is, yes, I will put the link below. It is called the 7 Proven Strategies for a Stress-Free Home, because I have gotten a lot of questions concerning, kind of the stress and the overwhelm and dealing with little ones. So I am putting kind of my 7, go-to strategies to really bring peace and calm into your home. So this is a free live training that I'm doing next week. There will be 2 times on Tuesday the 12th and 2 times on Thursday the 14th. For you to create the home and family life that you've always wanted. So I hope to see you there. I will put the link below, and I look forward to seeing you, and I will try to be back tomorrow to answer more of your questions, so keep them coming, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye for now.